Welcome back, everyone. I'm Jason, and you're watching Jason Jensen Trains. In today's episode, we're going to pick up right where we left off in the last episode. That video was called Adding Signs. In that video, we started building some background structures. So today, we're going to finish those up and talk a little bit more about background structures. All right, we have a lot to do, so let's get to it. So I've got my brick structure built that this structure sits on top of. Now this is a kit that I modified, and here is the kit. It is from Monster Model Works. So I just simply cut a section off of each end to make the sides. Now this is a flat kit, so it does come with some walls. Let me grab them. So if you buy the kit, the little side walls are provided. I needed it to be a little deeper, so this sits on top of it. So again, I just cut a little off of each end for my sides. Now I'm going to spray paint this with a chalk paint. It is Colonial White, or Colonial Ivory, sorry. Well, as you can see, it's all spray painted white, and we'll set this aside and let it dry, and we'll get our windows put in and our corner trim added to this. So our windows are all painted and the acetate is glued on the back. Now I'm just taking some paint, regular acrylic craft paint, and painting the back. Okay, well, I've built this little shed for the top of the structure. That will get put on like that. We still have trim to put on, and then I have 2 smokestacks that will get put on there. Oh, and I also have this little fan. So I'm making my trim for the roof. Hopefully that's showing up. Now I'm going to paint it my light avocado green. Okay, so I've sponged on the brick color and then painted some gray where the cement would be. I then took really it was just some dirty water that my brush was in and did a light wash, and then along the bottom I did a wash of dirt just to darken up the bottom of it. It might be hard to tell. I don't know. Now we have these little shapes, these little star patterns, and I'm going to put them 1 inch apart all along the front towards the top. But first we have to paint them. I'm going to paint them bittersweet chalk. Okay, so I got them glued on. And then I used track wash and some thinner and put little streaks running down the wall from them. So I just took this over to the layout and set it approximately where it's going to go. And I felt that it was a little too bright, or the colors were too saturated. So now, because it's a background building and I want it to look like it's further away than what it really is, I'm just dry brushing using a color called Fawn. So I don't know if you'll be able to see the difference between the front of it and that side. So real quick, I wanted to show you this background structure. And this is completely made out of paper and mat board. So all of this is mat board. And then this is strip wood. Same with all this trim up here. It's just strip wood. Now I simply scanned a set of windows in my computer and then found a brick pattern and printed out, or made one section in the computer and then printed out a bunch of those. I made this years ago, so I think I can do a lot better now. The bottom is a plastic stone, which I didn't even bother painting the stone. So I will definitely have a video coming up soon on making a structure like this. I'm using a mat board and cardboard paper. It's really very easy to do. And I even used, I used a FedEx box. And then you'll notice right here, to make it look like the windows are set back in there, I took a gray marker and just went along there, creating a shadow. Same with under here, under that trim. So I created all those shadows with markers. And then I dirtied it up with pastel chalks. Again, I think I can do a lot better, so I'll definitely be making some more of these in the near future. So I've decided to make a water tower. And I'm just using a spool. And what I did was I cut the ends off. Now you wouldn't have to. You could just glue the boards straight up and down right to the edge, if that makes sense. As you can see, I cut the end off on both ends. And then I took a piece of cardboard and cut 2 circles and put it on each end. And now I'll stain all my boards and glue them right to the side. Okay, before I glue any boards on, I'm going to paint one end to look like water. Okay, so that was just Calypso blue. This is it's called Crystal Light Blue. I'm going to put it right on here. I'm going to blow dry this quick. So I quick dried all these. Now I'm going to take, about half of them. Yeah, we'll do half. And I'm going to dip them into black. This will give us a variety. We don't want them all to look the same. Okay, so I cut one to the length that I want it. So now, okay, well, as you can see, we have a good variety of stained wood. Now we'll use Aleene's tacky glue, and we'll just smear the glue on here and start gluing on all the boards. Okay, let's do some weathering on this quick. I'm just using sand gray, and we're just kind of doing a line that is kind of a wavy line, almost a little above the center mark. Okay, not much. I don't know if you can see that. Now we're going to take a shader, Starship Filth, put maybe 3 drops in there. We'll get our brush wet. And we're brushing up to that white line. We can definitely go heavier at the bottom. And let's just hit the top of the boards. Okay, I used the hair dryer and dried it. Now I'm just using some 220 grit sandpaper. Okay, next we're going to take some brown construction paper, and we're going to take a marker. This happens to be Camel. Now we'll let that dry for just a little bit, and we'll cut some thin strips for our bands around this. Okay, now I'm taking a really dark gray marker and going over that band and letting it bleed into the wood. I'll show you. Now I know that this is the front, so I want to set this on here and rotate it so that I get the best side forward. Got some glue on. Now I need to put a pipe coming down from the center that goes into the roof. Okay, so we're going to paint some windows. And the windows are from Tichy Train Group. And I'll show you the info. There is the website right there. And in this pack, you'll see plastic windows. And then you get the laser cut acetate that fits in the windows. And then you even get window shades. Now, most times I would spray a primer on these first, but I'm sort of in a hurry, and this is just on a background building. So I'm just going to go ahead and sponge on an off-white. So I just put a wash over these, just using some dirty water that my brush was in, and just simply brushed over all the windows just to tone it down. I wanted to quick show you these windows that come with the plastic windows. So here's the acetate sheet, and you can see I cut one out, and it's two separate pieces. So you have the top and the bottom. And then again, you have pre-cut window shades. Oh, and I do want to mention that you can see these are kind of foggy. You can take Windex, and these will become crystal clear. You just got to clean them up. I don't mind having them foggy, especially on a background building. So our windows are all glued in, and I've added trim. Now we'll just get this glued right on top, and you can see I've added it's just a straw for the pipe, and we'll get that glued right on top like that. Here is another background structure that I made, and I wish I had a picture of the kit or the box, but I don't, sorry. So the bottom, that's the front or the back, depending on where you put it on your layout, and then this part up here is the other side of it. So I believe it made a giant square. And so I stacked the front and the back on top of each other, then also stacked the sides. And then just put a giant piece of cardboard on the back. And I painted the cardboard black first so that when you look through the windows, you just see black. Now, just for the video, I put a box there and some styrofoam on top, just to give you an idea of what it's going to look like. And like everything on my layout, they may get moved. All right, well, this is exciting, seeing the layout start to grow over in this direction. I'm actually getting excited to build some bench work behind me and possibly a little bit over here. All right, well, until next time, stay motivated and happy modeling, everyone.